everybody, Sue here, with an update on my foot. 1 year anniversary I just came upon. So I decided, I haven't really updated anybody from the time I got my cast off up until now. So, and people have been asking, so I said, you know what? It has been a bit of a journey, so had a couple of setbacks. So in this video, we'll be going from the day I got my cast off till right now, how my foot is. And I will say, I will answer the question that has been burning in my head after enduring a very long recovery. Was it worth it? But first, let's go way back to March 10th when they cut that cast off. And let me just say, it ain't pretty. Nothing really can prepare you for how your foot looks when it comes out of a cast after 2 months. But, you know, you'd expect it to be pretty gross, but this exceeded my expectations. Right when the cast comes off, you know, they have to pull that pin that's in my second toe, which I had great anxiety over. I was so petrified of getting this pin out. And but I recorded it for you, and let me tell you, it was nothing. And how long does it take to take this pin out? Oh dear Lord.
Like 2 seconds.
Oh. I've been in a sound sleep, and I just woke up at the thought of this in a panic.
You doing okay?
Mm-hmm.
There you go. All done.
That wasn't bad at all. That was big.
That was big.
I can't even understand how that didn't really hurt.
It's because of where it's placed in your bone. There's no nerve ending surrounding it. I
still can't wrap my brain around how I didn't feel any pain. I mean, I understand it was in bone. There's no nerves in bone, but there's nerves at the tip of my toe. How come? It boggles the mind. But thank God, because, they don't even clean up my foot, which was kind of gross. Because then I had to go next door to listen to the people from Dynasplint pitch their product to me, which my doctor really loves. He really says, you got to get this. And he gives you a discount. My discount price was $300, so $600 full price. I would never have done that. So I said, what the heck, let me do it. So here's a little video of the Dynasplint lady giving an explanation of what it's all about. God bless her for even looking at my foot and not hurling, because she was touching my foot without gloves. God,
So basically what he ordered was something to move the toe up and something to move the toe down. Okay, so there's 2 separate splints. One, basically to help with range of motion in both directions. You start with very low time, 10 to 15 minutes, a couple times a day with each splint, and then you work up to about an hour with each splint a day. Okay? And then once you get comfortable with that tension that we choose for you, which is going to be very light, you can get to that hour, you're going to increase the tension, which increases the spring, which puts a little bit more pressure. Okay? So it's designed to be your therapy program, okay, since you're not going to therapy.
I do plan to.
Oh, do you?
Like he says, when I come back in 2 weeks, I do plan to go to at some point near my house.
Yeah,
but
you may not need it if you do this splint. A lot of times he goes for the 2 week. You go back for your 2 week checkup, and he's happy with the movement. Therefore,
I'm thinking about
therapy
my
is not needed.
Ankle as well. Yeah. So I got home and I cleaned that foot real fast. I was like, I gotta clean this foot. There's a ton of dead skin on the foot at this point that will only come off as you wash it and moisturize it. It took days, almost a week, for it all to come off. But as I'm washing the foot, I'm looking at my leg and I'm like, damn! I had lost 10 pounds. One of my biggest fears was just sitting on my couch eating and gaining weight for 3 months. So, I tried to eat right and I did some exercises as much as I could and I lost 10 pounds. But then I look at my leg and look at the size of that Slim Jim, huh? I think the 10 pounds is all in that calf. I don't know. But it was pretty dramatic. So I'm saying to myself, how am I gonna walk on this leg, That's when I realized physical therapy is going to be the most challenging thing of this whole recovery, I think. So. And I'm chillaxing right now with my Dynasplint on. Right now I have the one that pushes the toe down for range of motion. And there's one over here. Oh, let me zoom in on that. That's the other one that pushes the toe up. So I gotta alternate between the two throughout the day. Yeah, I got my crutches there and I got my scooter here. Obviously the scooter is really good for when I can just throw crap in my bag that I need to get from here to there. I got all my stuff hanging off it. It's all well and good, but I'm at the stage now where I gotta start to partial weight bear. So I got my crutches over here that I try to use as much as I can. And down below, I got my nifty Velcro shoe that I have to put on when I partial weight bear. So, this is my world right now. And I know that you people going through it can relate. Maybe 3 times a day I try to go all around the house. And sometimes it feels okay. And then other times it feels like needles. Pins and needles are just like punching into my foot. So, and that I think is when my foot gets slightly swollen. It kind of feels like that. So I stop, listen to your body, I'm told, and just stop, elevate, and ice. And then repeat as needed. The most important thing is to try to elevate as much as you can at this point in between trying to partial weight bear is what I find helps me, because you don't want to overdo it and then just all of a sudden all you have is a swollen foot all day, because that's not going to help anybody. Right around week 9, I started to really notice that my big toe was kind of going behind my second toe. It was just kind of moving inward somewhat, so it kind of concerned me, and I raised that concern with my doctor, who kind of poo-pooed it, for a while. Let's just keep an eye on it. So we did. This is March 26th, where I'm walking almost crutch-free. I'm barely putting any weight down on these crutches. And it was a brisk day, but it felt so good just to walk around. I knew that the time was near that I was going to be crutch-free, and lo and behold, the very next day, I go for my checkup, and he tells me to ditch the crutches. So I did.
First steps. Oh.
I can walk.
Look at you. Oh, this would get 1 million views if you just fell down right now, though.
My foot swelled a lot for a couple of weeks. It was just, elevate and ice as much as I could, because it seemed like every time I walked, it swelled up. So that's very common. So expect to have a lot of swelling when you first start walking again. Your foot gets balloons by the end of the day, depending on what kind of job you have. If you're able to sit at a desk and elevate it as much as you can, but it slowly does go away. But I had a little, if you recall, I had that piece of drain still stuck in my foot from day 2 back in January when I had to pull the drain, that piece that was stuck in my foot. He said, leave it there as long as you can and we'll take it out, at a certain point. Well, I think I was at that point because as you can see from these pictures, it's almost popping through the skin and it was really becoming a hindrance to my recovery. So I told the doctor, I want this thing out. So when I went back to consult with him about it, he noticed, as I did, that my toe was slowly starting to drift inward again. And he was like, let's just keep an eye on it at this point. But I was really kind of concerned. And I kind of felt, I will say I am not a fan of the Dynasplint. I actually told him back in March, the one that pushes your toe down, I kind of felt was pushing it inward. And I told him, I don't like the way this is making my toe feel. So he sent the lady to my house. She actually came to my house and readjusted it and everything. But when I have my other foot done, I will not be doing the Dynasplint. Not a fan of it.
So when I did the surgery, I straightened the toe internally, and that's the screw I took out.
Okay.
If the toe is still a little bit hitting the second toe and you don't like it, or it's underlapping the second toe or whatever, see this procedure I did right here? Take a picture of this. See this cut right here?
Yep.
What I would do is I would take another wedge out of here and make the toe straighter so that it wasn't underlapping the second toe.
And how long would I be off my feet for that?
You'd be able to walk, but you wouldn't be running around for about 6-7 weeks because I want that bone to heal.
Would I be in a boot?
A little surgical shoe.
Just like I just had?
Right.
Would I be able to walk full weight bearing?
Yeah, not excessively, because I don't want you to crack what I'm going to do. Let's tape. Would you tape down her toes for me with paper tape? My usual taping technique. Make sure you're aggressive. All right, because what I really want to do is I want to get that sucker down and over.
Wow, that already looks really weird to me.
Relax, honey. What looks weird?
Like there's actual space in between here.
Yeah. So
Is that new?
It is new. I want you to tape that down and over.
Just that to.
Because I released that joint.
So what causes that space in between? Is that because the screw is gone?
No, it's because I released that joint to bring the toe down and over. See the second toe I was drifting a little bit there? So I released the capsule right here to bring that second toe over a little bit because it was drifting a little bit toward the inside.
Oh, the second toe was drifting.
Yes. Perfect. That's how I want you to splint your toe. Capiche?
So it looks like it's way off to the right now, though.
I want it to be.
Is that you do?
Yeah, I want to compensate for the scar tissue. You do it like that. That's
Okay.
very important.
I don't touch this at all, right? This is going to be rewrapped.
Don't touch it for a week, but afterwards you'll still be taping it. I'm going to send you home. I'm going to have you tape the toe down and over.
A little bit of a bummer, but I still I had a full summer. I didn't have any pain. It was just a little weird feeling that my toe was going inward, but as the summer went on, I saw him in August. We took x-rays. I didn't film that day, but he did say, yeah, let's just see how it is in the wintertime, in November, so let's just keep an eye on it. So went back in November, and November 6th, and here's what happened that day.
I'm crestfallen. This is not my outcome.
So I would assume it's more at the base.
The problem is, you have drifted apart in the middle of your foot. So let's go take a look at the initial visit. So you go back to the beginning. You have here, it's certainly better than it was, but it's not my work. In other words, your soft tissues pulled it over and pulled it out of its socket. Let's go back and look at a post-op visit. So we have the very beginning,
Yep.
and then we have 3 months after surgery,
Yep.
and then now we have here. And your soft tissues have given way, and the big toe is drifting over. And that's a good post-op outcome. Now I can even reinforce my work by showing you, let's see the day of surgery. It was in January, wasn't it?
Yes, the 16th.
That's on the operating table. Isn't that perfect?
Yeah, I have all that, and it looks great. I'm at a loss.
I'm at a loss too, because, I documented on the operating table a perfect outcome.
Mm-hmm.
Your body has done its own thing to actually. This is drifted apart down here at the base, and I can't always predict. But see, I overcorrected. This angle between here is as narrow as I could make it at the time of surgery.
Okay.
These two are kissing because there's soft tissue in between. They're kissing. So you must have drifted apart down here, because this is today,
Yeah.
just enough to widen this angle so that the toe would drift back. And all I can do is apologize.
So what can be done, though?
Right now it ain't. I don't think it's going to go any further than this. Certainly, it's better than what we started with.
Yeah.
But it's not 100%. It's not my work.
Yeah.
But it is my work, because we see everything is documented. It was perfect on the operating table.
So what can I mean, is there anything other than going, I don't want to be like in a cast again for 3 months or anything, or 2 months.
The question is, do we need to do anything? If it doesn't hurt and it doesn't drift anymore and it sits there pretty, then let's leave it alone.
How can we know
We just
that it's...
follow it.
So here is my foot today, 1 year later. And, this little guy, I don't know. This is it at rest. This is my foot totally at rest. So I'm not thrilled with this at all, I mean, obviously it's better than this, I guess. This foot still obviously has to get done, but look how inward this is moving. I mean, it should be like this. This scar was the first one to disappear, and then this one is just relentless. But after I got the drain out, I didn't have that pain on the top anymore, but oh man, scarring is a whole other thing. I mean, see, when I go like that, my big toe curls underneath, kind of like what this one does. I do have, there's no pain, but yeah. Not the outcome I was expecting. Yeah, and right now I got 2 different feet. So it's really hard to find shoes. So I don't know, I'm kind of at a crossroads. So was it worth it? Was it worth it? Well, my foot, like he says, and like I know, it looks better. Way better than it was before, but you have this expectation of perfection. And I'm just saying, with any operation, any surgery, there's a risk. And they say right on it, as you're signing the papers, the risk of this operation is your toe could go back. The bunion can come back. Thumbs up or thumbs down? I'd have to say I'm gonna have to be political here and just say thumbs sideways. I don't know, I mean, I'm kind of disappointed. But I don't want to go back to how it was. I mean, it is better. I don't have pain. Don't have exact, I don't have a ton of range of motion, but I'm not that limited. It's just, if it continues to go inward, it's gonna be an issue, and have to cross that bridge when I get to it, you know? Hopefully I won't.